Greetings YouTube and welcome to the Blue Corner, and in this video I have for you guys a Cardfight Vanguard deck profile. It is going to be on Brawlers post BTG2, arguably the best variant of Narukami after the set's release, as, well, number one, Brawlers have always been really good, but now they get a finishing kill play, which is something the deck has been lacking for a long time, and it's only going to get better when we get Knuckle Turbo. As far as him goes, I'm only going to be cutting 2 cards on my extra deck for it because 4 Knuckle Turbo is just way too much. You're only going to be using his skill twice anyway. But yeah, we'll get a little bit more into that in a bit. Yeah, so let's get started on this updated version of Brawlers, and we'll begin with the starting Vanguard, which is Sparky Dragoon. There really is no other alternative to this guy. I mean, you could run Saishin, which might be a thing post Legend deck drop, but until then I'm just going to stick with this guy just because A, he increases consistency and he gives you grade 3s in order to feel Knuckle Buster skill, which is of course take a grade 3 name, take a Big Bang Knuckle unit, which is your grade 3s, put it into the soul, get 5k, attack 4 things. And following that, 4 copies of Big Bang Knuckle Dragon, who's gotten kind of pricey as of late. Like his SP's kind of pushing the super expensive line, which is a shame because I wanted to SP this deck up for Knuckle Turbo, but that ain't happening anytime soon. Anyway, Knuckle Dragon is a card you will not be going into often. He is there so that you have fodder for this guy's skill, the Cross Ride base, and Stride fodder. You will Legion with him once every third game, but he is there though, as his Legion skill is kind of lasts 2 Brawlers. He gets 5k in the Vermilion Thunderbolt skill, and when he attacks you can Soul Blast to have him gain 3k for the battle. Yeah. I will say though, quick note, a lot of channels and a lot of people have said that cross rides don't matter in today's Vanguard, and I disagree with that. Cross rides do matter in the G area, as it allows you to defend against big attacks easier, as the standard for 16k column, or rather the standard for side columns is now 16k. Most decks don't run 19k attackers anymore. This allows you to guard those columns with just a 5k shield because of your 13k base. And if you damage check a trigger, you're sitting at 18, so that neutralizes their 18k columns. And it also makes certain combo based decks that are based around rapid attacks harder to hit you, like Aquaforce. Standard Aquaforce play will consist of, let's see, if it's the Blue Storm version, then that having your Cross Ride will shut off their 12k attacker, their Rascal Sweeper, and any 11k attacker that they're coming at you with. So that pretty much limits them to boosted Tidal Assault. Okay, that you can guard with the 5k. And then post Lambros restand, when they stand 2 units to get plus 10, you can block the 21 with a 10k shield because you're 13, and you can block both Tidal Assaults with 2 10ks too, but that doesn't, well no, you can block the first Tidal Assault with a 10k, you can block a second Tidal Assault with the 5k. So, what else is there I could say? Oh yeah, and when your opponent's coming at you for a 31 stride attack, normally if you drop 3 10ks, that will put a standard Vanguard at 41, so that's a 2 pass. However, if you put 3 10ks down with a cross-ridden Knuckle Buster, that puts you at 43, so they have to 3 pass you. And just getting that little bit extra defensive investment for using little cards, like, it's always good. Basically, anytime you can use less cards to guard is good. So yeah, that's why I feel cross rides are still really strong in the G area. Offensively, yeah, whatever. I mean, you're swinging at 22, and G units don't count cross rides, so if I stride over a cross-ridden Knuckle Buster, I'm not plus 28. I mean, I'm not 28, or whatever. You get the idea. Why am I thinking 28? No, yeah, it's 28. Anyway, so that's it for the grade 3s. For the grade 2s, 4 Shatra, it's your draw engine, pressure card, live on turn 2, opponents hate this, counters Legion decks and all that. 4 of Knuckle Buster's Legion Mate, Knuckle Slash Buster, gets really big, 11k attacker. And finally, 2 copies of Sky Howl Dragon and 1 copy of Slash Dragon. I already mentioned how you don't go into Knuckle Dragons as a Legion that often, so just the 1 of this will suffice. And then 2 of these guys, as I wanted some spot removal, and I found Death Sights to be a little bit costly given that Knuckle Buster can go after back row, This guy can kill front row for cheap, and that's pretty good as it sets up Conquest Dragon so that you can kill one front row with this guy, kill the other with this guy, and proceed to get your plus 10,000 power to the front and push. Which is something that this deck has been sorely lacking, is that big push play with Conquest. And because I'm playing Brawlers and you need your rear guards because it's a weird mixture of aggressive beatdown control, 4 standard perfect cards, I'm flipping ones not good in here, just stick with these. You can run the Eradicator ones too if you want to be cheeky, it doesn't really matter, Anastasia just does not work in here. 4 Stride Enablers, one of which is proxied, 3 Wyvern Strike Pigoma. This thing has actually been proven to be really good in testing. Initially I was like, yeah, having another 11k attacker as a grade 1, that's okay. No, yeah, this thing's really good. And I found that even now, pre-turbo, I'm striding a lot more than I'm staying in Legion for the most part. So having Legion-based skills such as Arc are totally unnecessary in Brawlers now. So you can get away with cutting the 3 topper Brawlers that you were running before and running this guy who is in a pinch an 11k beat stick. Which is good, as it means that you can just swing with this guy if they kill your front row dude, whatever. And he's turning with Conquest, he's 16 with any 5 behind it like Rising Phoenix or at worst a Trigger. Yeah, really solid card that I would recommend trying out. And speaking of Phoenix, 3, right now I can support 3. Post Knuckle Turbo though, I'll have to cut 1 just because it's a huge conflict in Soul. But yeah, draw power is nice, and any deck that can run the Luckbird clones should. Triggers are exactly the same as before, so 7 crits. Where's that last one in there? There he is. So yeah, 7 crits, 5 draw, 4 heal. And for the extra deck, I am running 4 copies of Conquest Dragon, 2 of which are proxies. My other ones haven't come in yet. I just wanted to get this video out of the way now while I still have like the deck put together, as I have to take apart certain cards in here so I can put them back into Vermilion Eradicators, but anyway. So 4 Conquest Dragons, you run 4 of these without question. It is your win condition in that it lets you actually push for potential game. If your opponent's at 4 to 5 damage and you've got this guy ready to go, they are going to have a hard time guarding your giant ass attacks of 41, minimum 26, minimum 21, 26 lines. That's a lot of shielding, and chances are they probably won't have perfect cards at this point because you've probably been terrorizing them with Zoras because they don't want your opponent, they don't want to lose a rear guard, and more importantly, they don't want you to exile 2 units from their drop zone. So that's why Conquest is so good in here, and he combos nicely with Knuckle Turbo. As I'm going to actually show you guys what my extra deck will look like post Knuckle Turbo, but let me just get through this first. So 3 Zoras, Pressure Unit, and finally 1 Blizza, who in this deck becomes really immense. He is more of a late game card, but he's a very good late game card in that when he swings, counterblast 1, flip a G unit face up, and he gets 5 for every face up G unit in zone, he'll become on average 56,000. So that's a lot to guard, especially if they weren't able to guard these guys before. And that's it for the extra deck. As far as what I'm going to be cutting in order to make room for the 2 copies of Knuckle Turbo that I plan on running, because you only need 2, and I'll explain that in a second. Anyway, yeah, I'm just going to cut a Blizza and a Zoras, as Knuckle Turbo does the same thing as Zora and Blizza anyway, and that's about all I would cut. I've seen some people do the stupid thing and cut copies of Conquest, to which we're like, no, 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 you don't do that. Conquest Dragon allows you to push for very similar numbers as a Knuckle Turbo that hits a lot of things. Yeah, you aren't getting plus a bajillion to your rear guards, but you're still getting plus 10 to your rear guards, which is still enough to force out a decent amount of hand from them. And because you need the 4 copies of Conquest Dragon to work, that means you're only going to be striding into Knuckle Turbo and using his Persona Flip twice. So that's why you only need 2 Knuckle Turbos and just 2 of anything else, and I'd rather just run the 2 copies of Zoras on the off chance where striding the Zoras is not a half bad play. So that's how the extra deck is going to look post Fighters Collection 2015. And looking over the Japanese lists that have top using Knuckle Turbo, it's been pretty much the standard. It's been 4 Conquest, 2 Turbo, 1 to 2 Zoras, and maybe a Blizza. But I like 2 Zoras in here. And that's it for the deck itself. As for what may be coming up, I'm in the process of figuring out what I feel is what is the best way to play Aquaforce, as there's really 2 variants you can go. You can play with the Thabas plus something variant, or you can play with the Maelstrom version. and I like both, and I'm going to try out both. But yeah, this is my updated Brawlers. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're looking to play a really good Narukami deck, then you really can't go any better than this. Eradicators are, I think, second best, and Vermilion, I think, is third best. And Dungaree is still absolutely crap. There's just no saving that guy. Maybe if they made a Revival Legion, but I'm really doubtful of it. Anyway, so that's all I got for you guys. Yeah, so until next time, this is Blue39, yakking out.